took the famous picture.
This was you right here?
Yeah.
So you were the person that shot the camera phone on the guy that masturbated in public on the train?
Yeah.
That's you. We finally got a name to the face. Let me ask you what happened that day when you went on the train. Were you coming from work or were you coming from school?
Actually, I finished with an interview and I was heading to my other job. And I was on the train.
Did you see him come out?
Do you think you can do this? Like,
can I read your sign?
Oh, sure.
What does it say?
This one says saw something, said something.
But,
And then do you shake your customer's hand with that? So, it's crazy. Maybe my favorite one, actually. I'll see you later. It's this one, actually.
That's your favorite one?
it was good to meet you too.
Has man-made nut milk.
Nice.
That's my favorite one.
You work in
She has a story behind how they came up with the sign.
Oh, are you done with that?
Mid-masturbation is
why you trained?
accusation.
How did you get involved in this, by the way?
Well, what happened is that she sent me an email about, what happened to her. So I was kind of offended, and all my friends were offended, but none of them could have made it out today.
How did you, when did you get started with this, promoting, women's issues, and where does that come from? Like, what personal beliefs do you have?
Well, personally, I'm in a fraternity, and one of our values is chivalry. We should be chivalrous to all women all the time. And after that happened, that was kind of crazy. My sister also, when I was younger, a guy masturbated in front of her on the train.
How did it make you feel when you?
It made me feel a little disgusted because at the time I didn't understand. I was pretty young, and I wasn't sure about what any of that meant. So now I do, and I realize that's not cool. I don't like seeing that happen to anybody. I wouldn't want that to happen to my sister or my daughter. So support my friend. It's just a way of kind of supporting.
Oh, so this is your friend here in town?
We went to school together. We actually worked together.
What school do you go to?
New York Institute of Technology. I transferred out. She already graduated.
NYU, I'm sorry.
No, NYT.
NYT. And what fraternity are you from that supports these issues?
Oh, Tau Epsilon Phi.
Excuse me?
Tau Epsilon Phi.
Okay. And they believe in chivalry?
Yeah, that's one of the three basic things that we believe in. So this is just me just promoting that idea as well. So.
Okay. And when you heard this story about your friend and that because it's been all over the news and in the newspapers, what did you think? Were you like, okay, you know what? I need to come out here today to court?
Well, when she called me, I was pretty excited. She called me she sent me an email a week ago, and then she called me. I'm like, I have to support her. She helps me out. I help her out. But not only that, even if she didn't help me out, because I knew her, I would have been out here anyway. So.
Right. Wow, that's amazing what you're doing. I love these signs.
Thank you.
So, are you going to continue supporting women's issues?
Of course, because
do you support other women's issues besides street sexual harassment?
Well, if anybody ever asks me to be involved, I'll support them. Like the women's right to choose, I kind of support that idea as well on our campus. So anything that comes up, I try to help out wherever I can. So.
Have you ever complimented women on the street? Be honest.
I try, but I'd be a little too shy to do that.
Okay.
I have to break through that. So.
Okay. So what do you think about guys that go around to girls and say, "Honey, you look sexy. Wow, I think you're really gorgeous."
It's a really good way of doing things without being stupid about it. But most of the time, it may not be necessary. You never know what that person will be going through. So to just run up on them at the end of their work, end of their work day, can be kind of an annoyance. Like me, you kind of have to know what you're doing. You don't just run up to anybody. Sometimes there's a time and place for things like that, and there isn't. And there's always a certain way to do things. Like to run up to someone and say, "Hey, you're sexy." That's kind of awkward. Just say hi, how are you doing?
You don't think that's wrong at all?
I don't think it's wrong, but there's certain ways you got to do things. But you don't just whip out your penis on a train and start masturbating or showing it around. That's totally like another level I've never heard of. So.
Wow. So now your friend here, Tao, this guy that masturbated in front of her on the subway. What is going on today exactly in court? They're trying to prosecute him?
I'm not exactly sure. I think they are trying to prosecute him. But I'm not really sure what's going on inside court. I haven't really read into this, but I don't know. I haven't read into it at all.
You have no idea what's going on?
No, I know he's in there somewhere, so this must be a good sign. At least they're bringing him to justice in a sense, because I couldn't believe that when she showed the pictures to the cops that they didn't really want to take her seriously. That's like
the cops didn't want to take Tao seriously?
They take you seriously, right?
Yeah, the first time I went there.
Is it okay?
Yeah, I went there the first time right after it happened, and I told them what happened. And I said I'll have a picture with my cell phone, and they didn't. I mean, she wrote something down, but it wasn't official or anything. And because that's when we go home and put it online, and then I went back to the police after I put it online, and then they were.
So basically, the police only paid attention to this issue once, they was in the media.
Well, not it
Covered by the media.
It was before it went into. It was on the cover and everything. I just had to go to another station and file a report.
You had to go to another station?
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't take you seriously?
Yeah.
What did they say? Like,
Well,
what
at
was
first, I just went to a cop who was standing there. And then the second time I went to a station to file an official report. And I printed out pictures and I had.
What was the charge?
For him?
Yeah, well, what charge did they give him?
I think it was a misdemeanor.
A misdemeanor?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Did you feel threatened? I mean, how threatened did you feel? Like, did you feel that he would rape you, or you knew that?
Well, I didn't know what was going on. When it happens to you, you don't know what's going to happen next. You just know that, he's doing something wrong. And you're really nervous and uncomfortable. Sometimes I reacted quickly by getting out my camera, and at first I wasn't going to take the picture, but it just felt like it was going on for so long that.
Can I ask you a question now? In front of the newspaper, like you don't show your face at all?
No, before I didn't show my face because I wanted to catch him. I didn't want to be.
Right. You don't want to be exposed yet.
Yeah.
Okay. But right now
I was afraid he might retaliate or something.
You were breaking your what?
I was afraid he might retaliate.
Oh, that's understandable that he might retaliate.
Yeah.
So now today they're prosecuting him. What's the situation?
Today they're sentencing him, and he just got 2 years probation.
2 years so basically he's not getting any jail time?
I don't think so.